Hello everyone. Today we're going to discuss foods you should avoid if you have arthritis. Arthritis is one of the most common causes of disability in the United States, and believe it or not, nearly half of all adults develop it by the age of Lou Sherwood. Arthritis is a broad term that refers to over different conditions that cause inflammation in one or more joints. If you're living with arthritis, maintaining a balanced diet is crucial. Your meals should include plenty of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, nuts, seeds, and fatty fish such as salmon, all of which help reduce inflammation. However, there are also several foods that can make joint inflammation worse and should be avoided. In this video, we'll cover 9 foods you need to eliminate if you suffer from arthritis. Before we begin, please note that all information in this video is unbiased, fact-checked and reviewed by qualified health professionals. With that said, let's dive into the list of foods to avoid if you have arthritis. Number E, gluten. If you've been diagnosed with arthritis, you've probably already made significant changes to your diet, and for good reason. Many doctors recommend avoiding foods that can worsen arthritis symptoms, and gluten is one of them. Gluten is a protein found in wheat, rye, and barley. It's often used as an additive in processed foods and can even be present in some medications. For people with rheumatoid arthritis, gluten can be especially harmful. Several studies have shown that individuals with this condition may benefit from completely eliminating gluten from their diets. The reason is simple. Gluten can trigger inflammation in the body and activate the immune system to mistakenly attack healthy tissues. This immune reaction can worsen rheumatoid arthritis symptoms and significantly increase joint pain. Number R, red meat and processed meats. Although red meat might not seem like a problem, it's actually high in saturated fats, which can raise cholesterol levels and contribute to heart disease, a condition that often aggravates arthritis. Red meat also contains compounds like carnitine, which, when consumed in excess, can promote inflammation in the joints. Processed meats such as bacon, sausage, hot dogs, and deli meats are particularly harmful because they contain nitrates and nitrites, preservatives that extend shelf life but can form carcinogenic compounds when heated. Research indicates that regular consumption of red and processed meats increases the risk of developing osteoarthritis, rheumatoid arthritis, and cardiovascular disease. Additionally, these meats contain high levels of iron, which can elevate free iron levels in the body and worsen existing joint inflammation. Number C, added sugars. Sugar is one of the most damaging food groups for individuals with arthritis. While it might give you a quick burst of energy, it has a negative long-term impact on your overall health. Studies have shown that excess sugar intake contributes to inflammation and can worsen arthritis symptoms. Inflammation, which can make your arthritis symptoms even worse. It also contributes to insulin resistance, a condition that, if left unmanaged, can lead to joint damage over time. In addition, sugar causes sharp fluctuations in blood sugar levels, which often result in fatigue, mood swings, and headaches, all of which can aggravate arthritis symptoms. According to the Arthritis Foundation, nearly 5% of people with arthritis also have a history of high blood pressure or diabetes, both of which are linked to chronic inflammation. The same association exists for heart disease, cancer, and Alzheimer's disease. One of the simplest ways to reduce your sugar intake is by reading nutrition labels. The nutrition facts on food packaging list total sugars per serving. If a product contains more than Urser's grams of total sugar or over Wu grams of added sugar per serving, it's best to reconsider consuming it. Enjoying the video so far? Before we move on to the next food to avoid, Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, so you don't miss out on more informative health content. Number 6, alcohol. Many people with arthritis turn to alcohol to ease pain or relieve stress, but this can be a dangerous habit. Alcohol can interfere with arthritis medications, reducing their effectiveness and worsening symptoms. Because it acts as a diuretic, alcohol can also cause dehydration, which increases joint pain and stiffness. Moreover, alcohol contributes to systemic inflammation, which can further damage your joints. Some studies even suggest that alcohol can cause more harm than good when it comes to joint health. If you have arthritis, it's best to avoid alcohol entirely, or at least limit your intake. If you choose to drink, do so in moderation, no more than 1 drink per day for women and 2 for men. Deal alongside a meal. Always drink a glass of water with each alcoholic beverage to help your body stay hydrated and slow alcohol absorption. And number W, highly processed foods such as ready-made meals, instant noodles, and canned soups are generally unhealthy, but they can be especially harmful if you have arthritis. Because they contain numerous additives and preservatives that can irritate the lining of your digestive tract. Processed foods such as chips, cookies, and packaged snacks are often loaded with sodium, which contributes to swelling and inflammation. However, it's not just the amount of sodium you consume, it's also how quickly your body absorbs it. When you eat foods high in salt, your blood pressure rises, causing more fluid to flow through your blood vessels. This excess fluid can increase joint pain, stiffness, and inflammation, making arthritis symptoms more severe. Number 6, foods high in salt. Salt is a vital mineral that plays several important roles in the body. It helps regulate blood volume and pressure, supports the acid-base balance, assists with muscle contraction, and aids in nutrient absorption and water balance. However, too much salt can be harmful. Excessive sodium intake can lead to high blood pressure, which raises the risk of heart disease and stroke. In addition, a high sodium diet is associated with osteoporosis, as it increases calcium loss through urine, ultimately reducing bone density and weakening your skeletal structure. Number chi, certain vegetable oils. Vegetable oils are a common source of fat and calories in modern diets. They're used for cooking, frying, and baking, but many of them are high in saturated fats that can raise levels of LDL bad cholesterol and increase inflammation, worsening arthritis symptoms. 2 oils in particular should be avoided if you have arthritis: corn oil and safflower oil. Corn oil is rich in omega-low fatty acids, which, when consumed excessively, promote inflammation. Non-organic corn products often contain genetically modified ingredients, which can trigger immune reactions that worsen inflammation. Safflower oil, another omega-low heavy oil, can elevate both blood pressure and cholesterol levels. It also contains linoleic acid, an essential fatty acid that, in large quantities, can irritate the gastrointestinal tract when ingested or applied topically. Number BOT, foods high in AGEs, advanced glycation end products. Advanced glycation end products, or AGEs, are harmful molecules that form when sugar reacts with proteins or fats during cooking, especially at high temperatures such as frying, grilling, or roasting. Reacts with proteins, forming harmful compounds known as advanced glycation end products, AGEs. These molecules can develop in several ways, but the most common occurs during high temperature cooking methods like frying, grilling, or roasting. AGEs are also naturally present in certain foods such as red meat, beef, and dairy products. Studies have linked AGEs to various chronic health problems, including arthritis, diabetes, Alzheimer's disease, and kidney failure. However, current research shows limited direct evidence that AGE cause these conditions on their own. Because there are few studies on how AGEs specifically affect joint pain or arthritis symptoms, it's still uncertain whether avoiding them entirely will significantly improve your condition. Number Joel, dairy. While some individuals with arthritis can tolerate dairy products in moderation, many others find that dairy increases inflammation and joint pain. If you have an inflammatory form of arthritis, such as rheumatoid arthritis or psoriatic arthritis, it's best to avoid dairy altogether. These types of arthritis occur when the immune system mistakenly attacks healthy joint tissues. Consuming dairy can stimulate the body to produce more antibodies, which not only target pathogens but also attack healthy joint cells. This immune response can aggravate inflammation and worsen pain and stiffness. For those with osteoarthritis, the most common type, there's no clear evidence that avoiding dairy will directly reduce inflammation or discomfort. However, some people report noticeable symptom relief when they eliminate all animal proteins like meat and fish from their diet while still including eggs and plant-based proteins such as beans. Healthier ways to eat. If you have arthritis, if you're living with arthritis, you might assume that healthy eating requires a strict restrictive diet. In reality, even small dietary improvements can make a big difference in reducing inflammation and improving mobility. Here are a few practical tips for making better food choices. Cook with olive oil instead of butter or margarine. Butter and margarine are often high in trans fats, which can promote inflammation and worsen arthritis symptoms. On the other hand, olive oil is rich in heart-healthy monounsaturated fats that help reduce inflammation, lubricate the joints, and support smoother, more comfortable movement without pain or stiffness. Who's fish rich in omega-3 fatty acids? Include fish like salmon, tuna, or mackerel in your meals at least twice a week to take advantage of their powerful anti-inflammatory properties. Omega-3 fatty acids have been shown to reduce joint pain and stiffness, even in individuals who don't have rheumatoid arthritis, making them an excellent addition to your arthritis-friendly diet. Use a steamer instead of boiling vegetables. When cooking vegetables, steaming is a much better option than boiling. Boiling not only exposes your home to excess heat, but can also cause nutrient loss in vegetables. Steaming, on the other hand, preserves nutrients and keeps your kitchen cooler, reducing unnecessary stress on your joints while you cook. You can also try using a pressure cooker for foods like beans or rice. It's efficient, healthy, and easy on the joints. Get enough vitamin D. Ensure you're getting sufficient vitamin D from your diet. This essential nutrient supports bone health and joint strength. You can find it in foods such as fortified milk, orange juice, and cereal bars. If you don't get enough sunlight exposure, especially from autumn through spring, speak with your doctor about taking a daily vitamin D supplement to maintain healthy levels. There's no doubt that arthritis can significantly affect your daily life. It may limit your ability to do simple activities like going shopping, gardening, or playing sports. But the good news is that by making smart dietary choices, you can help reduce pain, stiffness, and inflammation associated with the condition. Remember, adjusting to new eating habits takes time, but with consistency, these small changes can greatly improve your overall quality of life. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more informative health videos just like this one. Thanks for watching. Your wellness is our mission.